Hello and welcome back to Grim Survival. It is September 23rd, 2019. I didn't remember it. I have it here. I have this tablet here that somebody has loaned to me. This is a Samsung Galaxy Tab A. Older model. It still has buttons on it. Actual buttons. That's amazing because I haven't seen buttons on a device in quite a while. We don't do that anymore. You know, touch screens and such. But anyway, yeah, thanks to the person who loaned me this. I will be giving it back as soon as I, acquire myself a laptop or another means of having additional devices with me. But yeah, I do use these things. So yeah. Anyway, today we're going to have a news update. So let's get to it. I mean, I'm not going to give you anything really specific. Obviously, we're still looking at flooding all over the nation. Houston is in the news lately for the tropical storm that dumped lots and lots of rain down there. And Houston is, well, flooding again. It happens. You know, you live in a coastal city, you kind of got to expect it to flood eventually, sooner or later. It's like an inevitability. I mean, you're going to flood. You live next to the ocean. It's going to happen. Yeah. So keep that in mind if you ever decide to move on a beach. That eventually the beach isn't going to be there because the water is going to be on top of it and probably over your house while you're at it. Anyway, point being, flooding. Flooding is everywhere. I see flooding all the time. Intense rain last night in my area. From Indiana to Chicago, nothing but cornfields, drenched cornfields. And you got to wonder, because we're getting really close to harvest time now, where the cornfields are going to start being harvested. The tractors, the combines, everything's going to be out there in these fields. And the reasons why some of these fields were delayed, they weren't planted when they should have been. They were delayed almost a month, in some cases even up to 6 weeks. A delay for planting is because of the rain, how soft the ground was. So you got a question now, is the ground going to still be that soft after all the rain we've had in recent weeks and the rain we're continuing to have on top of these already saturated fields? And I do mean saturated. We've gone almost a month with very little rain, but every time we get rain you can still see puddles forming in all of these fields. So how's the equipment going to get out there and harvest all the crops if they couldn't get out there to plant it because it was too soft for the rain, if it is still too soft? So I mean, if it is, I just don't understand how they're going to do it. By hand? You're going to start hiring people to pick it? I mean, that's really the only explanation I can think of. So flooding's happening everywhere. The war, as as the world resources get lower, how many resources we have to share throughout the world, as it dwindles, because it is, because of overpopulation, in my opinion, and pretty much every opinion, as we progress more into this lack of resources, we get closer and closer to armed outright war. We have been seeing skirmishes all over the area. I can go over news report after news report of Israel, Iran, United States, Russia, Syria, ISIS. ISIS has been in the news, attacking Afghanistan, Saudi Arabia. Everywhere where there is oil is conflict. Everywhere there's oil, there is conflict. There are skirmishes happening on borders. There are little fights going on here and there. Things are being blown up. Saudi Arabian oil has been attacked. I mean, oil tankers being taken over. It's just oil. Now, that is the prelude to what is to be, is oil is going to turn into food. That's my prediction, that we're going to see massive conflict over food. Like I said, as the global resources dwindle, the global conflict increases, because if you just take it on a small scale, people who are desperate when they don't have enough food, even in current times, people, welfare, for some reason you didn't get your check, it was delayed, you get hungry, your children get hungry, you do desperate things for food, you will steal, you'll go into a store and you'll steal a bottle of water, you'll steal food, you will, trust me, you will. If you've never been hungry enough to steal, then you've never been that hungry. I've been there. Yeah, trust me, I know. You will steal for food. If it comes between yourself eating, your kids eating, and somebody just stopping you from getting food, you'll go get food. Think about that on a more desperate level, where there is no food and the only food are in other people's houses because the grocery store just doesn't have food. Then what are you going to do? So at that point, some people end up, conflict. So now think of it on a large scale, when your whole nation, who has an army of 2 million people, just an estimate, and not our nation, we have more. But anyway, an army of 2 million people, and your people are starting to go hungry. I mean, your people are starting to revolt because they're hungry, they're mad, they're angry, they're hungry, they want something done. So your nation then sees the next door neighbor, and hey, they have food. Hey, we have guns. Let's go take their food. Humanity at its finest. That's what we do. If we don't have enough, we take somebody else's. So, one thing I'm going to read to you here, and this is, it doesn't get any more grim than this. I was reading a lot of news articles, and I will post a link to this particular one in this video description because it's something everyone needs to read. The title of this article is "America has become one of the most evil nations on the entire planet." That's the title, and I got it right here. You can read it. Ignore the headline, but yeah. And I will post the link. And I'm not going to read all of it. It's a long thing. It's Michael Snyder. Michael Snyder posted this September 12th, Thursday, September 12th. This is when the article was posted. And I read it, and I agree with 99% of it. I really do. But I'm going to read just the first thing on here. Basically, the first paragraph here is "How will history remember us?" It's a title. It's just explaining what he's about to talk about. The first example I would like to discuss is something that came out on Thursday. I'm not clicking the date. The CEO of STEM Express admitted in court Thursday that her biotech company supplies beating fetal hearts and intact fetal heads to medical researchers. Fetal hearts and fetal heads. These are babies. Baby heads, baby hearts, beating hearts. That means the baby is somewhat still alive. She also admitted in another hearing of the Center for Medical Progress that babies' heads could be procured, attached to the baby's body, or could be torn away. Exact words quoted here, torn away. Talking about aborted fetuses. Not so aborted in most cases. I mean, really, and I've seen studies of this all over. I've read it, I've seen documentaries, I've seen it. I know people who have been to these places. Don't do it. There are so many people in the world that can't have children, that would be happy to have a baby. Why are you killing it? Why? It really is murder, in my opinion. Now, the whole argument is, what is it? My body, my blah, blah. I don't know. I don't pay attention. I was watching a video from Emery King. He tries to be a comedian on YouTube. He's kind of vulgar and not all that funny sometimes. Sometimes he's funny, but not really. And then he was going over the subject, and it's not your body at this point. We're excluding any kind of forced activity here. You made the choice to do what you did that got the pregnancy, that got you pregnant. It's no longer your body. It's not. There is another body being made inside of you. Now, just because it's being made inside of your body, does it make it your body? No, it doesn't. That's a separate human life. And it's like within days before the heart starts actually beating. Read a book. We're going to go biblical now. We are. So if you're one of those atheist types, you might want to go ahead and stop watching because I'm going biblical here. Read a book or watch a movie. They made a movie. Heaven is for Real. A little kid went to, and I'm not going to spoil the whole thing, but a little kid died and went to heaven. Like literally. This is based on a true story. Book is written by, I think, the kid or his dad. Went to heaven. He met lots of people in heaven, people that he shouldn't have known about. Sister that was, she died during childbirth, and he wouldn't have known that, but he did. And this kid, when he knew all this, was something like 6 years old. But one of the things he said, it was the babies. It was like God breathed life into it, and the life goes into the mother the instant it's conceived. Biblical. Now, I might have quoted that a little wrong because it's been a while since I read it and I'd never seen the movie. So, anyway, yeah, look it up. Heaven is for Real. Very good read or watch. Either way, take a pick. But, yeah. Murder. Thou shalt not murder. Everybody thinks the Bible says thou shalt not kill. It does not say that. It says thou shalt not murder. If somebody is trying to kill you, self-defense. I mean, even in the Bible, self-defense. Look at how many times that somebody in the Bible defended themselves. Look at how many times they refused to defend themselves and just got killed. So, America, most evil nation on earth. We're killing babies. You know, I've seen research and studies saying they're using cells from aborted fetuses in certain products. I don't remember exactly what it was. Something to do with, you know, either health and beauty, or it might have been GMO food. I don't remember. I try to forget such things. But yeah, that's where our country is right now. We've lost our way. That's all I got to say about it. We've lost our way. And this is why I have no faith left in our government. They've taken the government is just, it's been corrupted so many years corrupted. There's just no point to it. So I guess I'm going to stop rambling about it, because this really is a grim topic, and I could go into it, and I could just, I could start a revolution of baby killers, because just don't get me started. I can start cussing on here. I really could. I want to just go find some stupid females at a stupid clinic and slap the crap right out of them. But thou shalt not judge, right? It's hard. It really is. Thou shalt not judge. I think that's the hardest one out of all of them. The hardest one is not to judge somebody for what they're doing. You see somebody, walking into a clinic because they wanted to have a one-night stand at the bar after, and yeah, I want to judge them with the backside of my hand. But anyway, yeah, what can you do? What can you do anymore? Pray a lot. That's it. So that's pretty much it for this video. I was going to do the video outside there. In case you're wondering what this is, that's how dirty my window is. That really is. Yeah, it used to work. There it is. Yeah, see? That's how dirty my window is. It rained and car debris, and yeah, that's what happens in the rain. Back window, you can't see through that because it's dirty. Anyway, keep it grim. Remember, we're not going to live forever. Don't kill your babies. If you got to be told not to kill your babies, you might want to go seek help. Just, yeah, anyway. Pray. Just pray.